welcome to Gender Equality Talks Season 2 hosted by CNS. In these talks, we hear from people on the front lines worldwide striving for gender justice. Global voices demanding that progress must be on track to deliver the SDGs by 2030. We have with us today Dr. SAPHON SomolirEASMEY, SRHR researcher and advocate from Cambodia. Welcome, Somoli. Pleasure to have you with us here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Dr. Somoli is Associate Executive Director of the Reproductive Health Association of Cambodia. She's involved with providing a platform for effective implementation of sexual and reproductive health and rights, especially for the youth. She's played a crucial role in providing technical support to the education and health departments of Cambodia to help develop age-appropriate textbooks. She's also helped build teachers' capacity to implement comprehensive sexuality education in the national education curriculum. Somoli leads various research, assessments, and monitoring on a range of issues such as adolescent sexual reproductive health services, links between SRHR and climate change, as well as interventions to tackle gender-based violence. So wonderful to have you here with us, Somoli. Welcome. To start this conversation, I think, we would really like to know from you, given all the work, the amazing work that you're doing in Cambodia, given that we're at the midpoint of the SDGs, do you think that we are on track to deliver this goal?
Yes, once again, thank you very much for having me. And I'm trying to note just only the key point that based on my experience in working on SRHR and also building gender equality in Cambodia. So based on my experience when I work on the research activity, I mostly based on, especially related to SGDV and related to health services providing, we can see a lot of progress, and especially the important point is about the collaboration between NGO and also with the government institution in order to provide the, well, not only for the quantitative but also the quality of the services in Cambodia. So in terms of the progress, I can say that we go very far, and it's the same as what we expect, especially in terms of the policy development and also the strategic plans, including action plan with the gathering of multi-consultation among the multi-stakeholders, not only for the government official, but also in terms of the CSO and other development partners. Yes, you might understand that Cambodia joined, officially ratified with a lot of international commitment, and especially related to ICPD +25. And I can give you an example of what is the progress. Yes, after joining, show the commitment of the government of the Cambodia in terms of response to the ICT commitment. The Cambodia came back with a very proactive response. We have been work together, not only in terms of preparing ourselves for the next activity and respond to our plans, but the first point that we need to start is to establish the special special committee for accelerating the ICPD action plan. We have the special committee, and right now we, two CSO have been invited as a special committee member, and RHAC is also one of the special committee working in response to ICPD. And we have been working back and all together to develop not only the strategy but also the action action plan together, and we have a lot of progress in after coming back from the So not only the action, but we can see the point related to the commitment that we are focusing, especially to respond to the 3-0, and of course it including to the gender equality, to engage the participation of women, and also to promote and ensure about the quality of the service and also information for women in order to reduce or combat the 3-0 as the commitment of the government.
Yes, yes. So much work you've done with youth and young people in terms of education and comprehensive sexuality education. If you could just talk a bit about that, and do you think that it's making a difference?
Yes, I would like to say in terms of our experience in Reproductive Association of Cambodia, that we have been working very strongly to promote the, we call adolescent hair-friendly service. As we have the adolescent hair-friendly service in 2017, the strategic plan, we follow that important document in order to promote not only the services but also for the information, especially in the community and in the remote area. One more important point that I would like to mention is that I have been working very hard in order to collaborate with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education, Youth and Sport in order to roll out nationally on the CSE, the Comprehensive Sexuality Education in across the nationwide. So since 2017, the government of Cambodia consider and the government, the Ministry of Education also launched the national curriculum and on health education, and in the health education subjects we have 5 components, and one of the main components is the comprehensive sexuality education. So we're working closely with the partner and also with the Ministry of Education in order to develop the textbook, the national textbook from grade 5 to grade 12, and each of lesson we have to ensure about the intersectionality and as well of inclusion, social inclusion in each of the lesson. It is one of the part that we are trying to understand about the process, and as well as to ensure that the diversity have been considered as a part of the CSE in Cambodia. After developing the national textbook, we have been finished this process in late 2022, and we started to build up the capacity of teachers in the province, and RHAC have focusing on one province, we call Kampot province, and we provide capacity building for the teacher at secondary and high school. Last year we provide the capacity for about 500 teachers, and we keep continuing to build up the capacity of them. Last year we provide the capacity for teacher grade 7 and grade 10, and this year we focus on teacher capacity for the teacher grade 8 and grade 11.
Excellent, great. So, Sumali, as you know, the months progress and we have 90 months left ahead of us, what challenges do you see in advancing gender justice and all the work that you do on gender justice?
For only my personal opinion that I can see, we have a lot of progress, of course, but along the way we have a lot of challenges as well, particularly related to financial management that we might need, and also time that we might need to ensure that not only the quantity but also the qualitative have been along together with the activity that we have done after that. And the most concern and the problem that I have been noted is about SGBV. It's about sexual gender-based violence, which is very difficult, not only in terms of intervention, but also in terms of how can I say that in the community. I'm sure that you understand about self-stigma and social stigma, which is very strong, exists in the community, and women might need a lot of support as well as time to heal for developing or maybe to strengthen or to recall her or their self-esteem during and also after their victimization. So it is the point that I can see, and even though there's a lot of mechanism in terms of providing intervention, but we can see that the nature and also the force of providing intervention is still needs to consider for mobilizing in a way that women should not only to how can I say, to suggest, but they need to receive and advise and then taking action after they identify that a woman is a victim. In terms of
Sorry, if you could just repeat that a bit, please. Like you said something that we need to consider when we identify somebody as a victim. What is it that we need to do? If you could just repeat the last bit again, please.
Yeah, I might need to try to explain again. In terms of policy, I'm sure that we have a lot of policy in order to support women as a victim. For example, like a National Action Plan for Women, and also we have clinical handbook to for healthcare women who victimized by the violence. We have a strategic plan of the Ministry of Women Affairs that have been how can I say, as a main point in order to take an action. There's a lot of things, and in the community we also have a committee, and we also have a commune council for women and children in the grassroots level in order to support women. Somehow we can see that there might need to consider for strengthening the way of providing intervention. Even though we have a lot of strategy in order to help women, but somehow when the stigma is very strongly exists, not only with the victim, but also the committee who provide intervention. It also takes a lot of time in order to make it progress. So this is the challenge that I can see. We need a lot of support, not only related to the legal intervention, not only on health provision, but also related to the mental counseling. So we might need to find the way in order to mobilize these three mechanisms together in order to support her at the same time. Otherwise, the mechanisms trying to make it as a part, and women will not understand about the progress and also the process of supporting to them. So at the last, they just ignore the intervention in the community. So I think it is the point that I can say that there's a lot of challenge related to gender in the grassroots level and as well as in the way that's taking implementation.
Right. So you're telling us that, tackling sexual and gender-based violence and addressing and, helping women and people across genders who face violence to overcome the self-stigma as well as stigma in the community. And that would be one of the biggest challenges, whether it's mental health counseling, whether it is the legal help, everything needs to come together to make this happen. Yes. Thank you so much. So many very crucial issues that you have flagged for us. Just wondering if there's anything else in terms of in all the work that you're doing, if there's something else that you would like to mention in terms of challenges and, what is it that needs to be done to ensure progress is on track?
Well, there's a lot of things that we might need to work together, especially from our relevant stakeholder. I'm sure that right now, the progress of everyone, I mean that individually have a lot of progress, but we might need to sit together and come up with the same point. In order to understand that what part that we can complement together to address the problem. Because as I mentioned that we might need to work at the same time. We might need to respond to the problem at the same time, especially related to the services providing to the victim and also the way of implementation in the grassroots level. Because in terms of, as I mentioned earlier, that in terms of policy development and policy existing, we have a perfect and strongly supported from the government, but we still have a very limited resources to take the theory into action. And this commitment might need to gather all together and to commit it with the financial support. We also have to commit it individually, institutionally, and also nationally. With a very, how can I say, a flow altogether in order to expect it, the result as what we mentioned in our policy when we come to the community level.
Thank you so much, Somoli. It's been such a pleasure, such an honor having you with us today. You were listening to Gender Equality Talks hosted by CNS featuring Dr. SAPHON Somolirasmey from Cambodia. Until next time, thank you for listening and participating in this dialogue to demand progress for gender equality.